the webinar, Professor Rakesh. Yes, it is time, I can see. We are just waiting for a few guest dignitaries to join us, and then we shall be beginning with the webinar. This webinar shall also be live streamed on our official YouTube channel, BVI Camp New Delhi, but the live streaming is only for knowledge dissemination purposes. So kindly ensure that all your friends and colleagues directly join this WebEx room. If you do not join the WebEx room, you shall not receive the feedback form link for the certificate of participation generation. Professor M.N. Huda, sir, Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management and Chairperson IEEE Delhi section, has already joined us. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the webinar.
Good evening, everyone. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Dr. Satya Prakash ji. I'm extremely sorry. मेरे पास बहुत सारे awardees बच्चे खड़े थे. कैसे हैं आप?
बिल्कुल अच्छा सर.
I thought मैं उनको
Thanks for
hello कर
giving
दूं.
me the opportunity.
My pleasure.
Nice to see you.
Once again, welcome on this platform. Dr. Ritika, चूंकि we are already 6 and 2, so please start it.
Thank you, sir. A very pleasant evening to all distinguished panelists and participants. Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, in association with Computational Intelligence Society, CIS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Computer Society CS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Technology and Engineering Management Society, TEMS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, System Man and Cybernetics, SMC Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Communication Society of IEEE Delhi section, Consultants Network Affinity, CNA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Life Member Affinity, LMA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Inter-Society Relations, IRS Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Industry Relations and Special Interest Group on Humanitarian Technology, Site Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Region 10 of IEEE, with the associations of Computer Society of India, CSI, Institute of Information Technology Professionals, IITP, ISTE Delhi section, and IETE Delhi Center as technical collaborators. Welcome you all to the IEEE IETE BVI CAM technical lecture series on vibe coding from algorithms to aesthetics. With immense pride and honor, we are delighted to announce that we, with united hands, mark special contribution for the monumental occasion, Golden Jubilee celebrations of the IEEE Delhi section. From 13th May 2025 to 12th May 2026, we mark 50 years of this vibrant and pioneering section, a journey that began in 1976 and has since shaped the technological and professional landscape of Northern India through innovation, collaboration, and learning. This webinar is an initiative to celebrate this legacy. According to Haley Quach, call it AI-assisted development, prompt engineering, or vibe coding. It's here and it's only going to grow. Vibe coding challenges us to rethink programming as expression as well as logic in a world where code powers everything from art to finance. This session looks at how developers can embrace flow, intuition, and human-centered design instead of sticking to strict syntax. We will learn how Vibe can create more empathetic interfaces, cleaner architectures, and a closer bond between the coder and the creation, from algorithm accuracy to aesthetic resonance. This talk will push you to feel the code rather than just write it. Whether you are creating experience or models, the session will also empower you to write complex code by harnessing the power of LLMs without having knowledge of multiple complex programming technology stack. I would first take this opportunity to welcome amongst us our distinguished panelists for the day. We are privileged to have amongst us a galaxy of experts. I would first request Professor Emin Huda sir, Director, Bharti Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, and Chairperson, IEEE Delhi Section, to address the participants with his inspiring words. Over to you, sir.
Am I audible, Dr. Ritika?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, good evening, one and all. At the outset, let me take this opportunity to welcome my valued speaker for the day, Dr. Satya Prakash, who is the director of Avishkar. What a lovely name is. Avishkar Center of Innovation and Incubation, GD Goenka University, Gurugram. We are grateful to you, Dr. Satya Prakash. Despite your all busy engagements, you have said yes to us and you are here to share your experiences. Dear friends, I also take this opportunity to welcome all my friends, Mr. Anil, everyone. Very, very senior friends are amongst attendees. All my participants from various parts of the country and abroad. Those who have joined and those who will be joining later. Everyone. Thank you so much. It is the strength of the participants and the love and affection of all my speakers that this program is being continued since May 2020. Imagine we started this program in the backdrop of COVID-19 with an intention to ensure that the people should not go into depression because they are sitting idle. Multiple negative thoughts are coming. So we thought that start a kind of knowledge dissemination series which will help people to get engaged actively and that to learning what could be a better way than learning. And this series, since May 2020, IEEE BVI Camp evening Saturday webinar series is being continued. And today is 191st episode. 151. Jaldi दूसरा शतक लगेगा. 191st episode of this series is being held today. Thank you so much to all my speakers, all my friends, and of course my team, led by Dr. Ritika and others at the back end, who had made this series as reality and made them as the name of this webinar. Thank you so much. In 2024, when IEEE started evaluating the similar knowledge dissemination sessions being started and continued across the world, particularly in the backdrop of COVID, they invited proposal and we also submitted details of our webinar series. And many of you know, and those who do not know will be happy to note that this webinar series was considered as the best webinar series in the world, which was started in the backdrop of the COVID and is still being continued. And we got an award from Education and Activity Board of the IEEE US for this webinar series. Again, credit goes to all my team, all the speakers and the participants from various parts of the country. You go to BVI Camp channel, YouTube channel, you will see all 190 episodes of this webinar listed there. And the video recording is there. Imagine how much efforts are being invested in that. It will encourage us in a better way if all of you join and the webinar series in time. And whatever recording we have done, anyone who is interested or who missed any of the session or who was not attentive in the session can take benefit from the recorded webinar series. Friends, today's topic is vibe coding from algorithms to aesthetics. The moment such a topic comes to my mind, मेरी चार पंक्तियां मुझे याद आने लगती हैं. And in the backdrop of the पंक्तियां, I would like to say that there is nothing constant in this world except change. Change is the only constant phenomenon. So we must be ready to change upfront in a proactive manner. And if we do not change, probably the changing ecosystem will change us. This vibe coding from algorithms to aesthetic is part of that change. That if we keep on believing only in algorithm and we are not taking care of the other aspect, which is otherwise under the umbrella of the vibe coding, probably our coding will not survive. Probably our design system will not survive. Probably people will not refer to our design system. And that is where it is said that इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता है, फिर भी परेशान क्यों रहता है? क्योंकि हम अपने आप को नहीं बदलते। एंड दैट्स व्हाई द गालिब सेड दैट, उमर भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा। तो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, आज के बाद से हम आईना साफ नहीं करेंगे। आज के बाद से हम टेक्नोलॉजी को ये नहीं कहेंगे कि बिकॉज ऑफ दिस टेक्नोलॉजी आई वाज मेड irrelevant, because of this technology my prior knowledge or my prior skills have become redundant. So for that we need to upgrade ourselves. That is why I say that in digital age, those who cannot read, write and speak will no more be illiterate. Rather, those who cannot learn, unlearn and relearn will be considered as illiterate. And that's why it is said that the 21st century definition in digital age of literate and educated people are those who can learn, unlearn, and relearn. Dear friends, the topic which has been kept today is vibe coding. And as a student of computer science, just 1 minute I wanted to devote and vibe coding. And if you see the vibe coding, whole lot of activities have already gone through by now. Now gone are the days that whatever algorithm is coming and a solution is being generated and that solution will be working. Gone are those days. Now while writing the algorithm, while implementing the code, we need to map it, we need to synchronize it so that it must resonate with any of the ecosystem which has been put forward before us. Dr. Ritika has rightly introduced the topic. So that ecosystem could be anything and around us. Could be an aesthetic coding, where we may be talking about visual appealing. Now we are going beyond even the design thinking. So we could be under static coding, we may be talking about visual appealing, we may be talking about the elegance, the way we talk about building constructing a building, that how elegant the building will look like. We may be talking about under aesthetic, the easy to read, easy to maintain, etc., etc. We may be talking about the design experiences, and when design experiences, maybe with touch and feel could be user experience in general. That how are you going to create a code which should be engaging our users, with which the user should be enjoying, which should give a wow experience to the user, and that too at the same time believe in intuitive understanding as well, and that is possible with the help of the AI. It should also resonate with the emotional understanding of the people. And that's where the people have started telling that now the social media will start and have been coded in such a way that it will start understanding the emotional aspect, which earlier people were saying that is not possible in computer-based system. It is a dumb machine. It is no more a dumb machine. Imagine in 1956, when John McCarthy coined the concept that the computers can think, people started laughing on John McCarthy and saying that machine will be able to think. Now, if I say to anyone that the machine cannot think, it will just boomerang on me, and people will say that in every spectrum of our life, the machine is omnipresent, and the machine, intelligent machine, the machine is thinking. That kind of understanding should be. So we need to pay attention to the minutest detail, to the not only the micro level, rather the narrow level detail. And just writing code is not sufficient. People will not breathe. The way will be changed. So if we want that, we will remain relevant, learn, unlearn, and relearn. And in the relearning process, vibe coding is one of such topics that will help us to understand how our code should remain relevant in changing context of technological changing ecosystem. That is the purpose for which this webinar has been organized. And Dr. Satyaprakash is here with all of us to make us to understand that how can we leaders if we start understanding that what are the nitty-gritty and the requirements of the vibe coding. Thank you so much, Dr. Satyaprakash, for being with all of us and to enlighten us on this important changing trend. And dear participants, one of our future webinar is going to happen on Internet of Behavior. Imagine. Second, we have started a series on Gen AI. One episode has already been on 6th of September. The second will be listed on our portal for registration, is going to happen on 11th of September. So series after series we are talking. One webinar we are going to have on 4th of October, that is going to happen on latest trend in AI and what are the concerned risks, yet there is an opportunity. So we are coming up with multiple such webinars. Those who have not registered, please keep registering and please keep visiting our web page because that will give you the idea and opportunity to register and attend all futuristic webinar. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. God bless you all. With this note, कि टेक्नोलॉजी और टेक्नोलॉजी के मुसाफिर तुम्हें अभी बहुत दूर जाना है और टेक्नोलॉजी के मुसाफिर तुम्हें अभी बहुत दूर जाना है पत्थरों पे गुलाब खिलाना है और आंधियों में चिराग जलाना है ये मेरा 10 साल पुराना शेर है जिसका एक हिस्सा पूरा हो गया है कि पत्थरों पे गुलाब खिलने लगे हैं तोरी भिंडी भी होने लगी है बिना मिट्टी और बिना पानी के सब्जियां और एग्रीकल्चर फार्मिंग हो रही है बट आंधियों में चिराग जलाना सचमुच का चिराग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक चिराग तो जल सकता है लेकिन चिराग और आंधी ये बिल्कुल अपोजिट डायमेंशंस हैं कि आंधियां चले और चिराग जलता रहे ये भी होना है और फिर जो चाय मैंने मेरे कॉफी मग में यहाँ ली है वो मैं इंटरनेट से डाउनलोड करूँ मैं भी उस दिन का इंतजार कर रहा हूँ थैंक यू सो मच विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल ओवर टू यू डॉक्टर रितिका
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the motivating words. With this, I welcome amongst us our expert speaker, Mr. Dr. Satyaprakash, sir, with an e-bouquet. Welcome to the session, sir.
Thank you.
एंड ये सिर्फ बुके नहीं है ये हमारे एहसासों हमारे जज्बात का ट्रांसफर है प्रेजेंटेशन है
बिल्कुल सर
जिसके लिए मैंने तकरीबन 15 साल पहले पंक्तियां लिखी थी कोविड के बाद से सब कुछ बदला है और हम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्म में मिलते हैं एक दूसरे के साथ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्म में अपना वार्मथ शेयर करते हैं ये बुके उस वार्मथ की पहचान है तो पंक्तियां लिखी थी मैंने कि बड़ी मुश्किल में हूं कैसे इजहार करूं बड़ी मुश्किल में हूं कैसे इजहार करूं तू तो खुशबू है कैसे गिरफ्तार करूं तो ये खुशबू आप तक कोई चाहे भी तो गिरफ्तार नहीं कर सकता हमारे जज्बात के साथ आप तक पहुंच रहा है आप स्वीकार करें हमारे लिए थैंक यू
तहे दिल से शुक्रिया सर
थैंक यू
Dr. Satyaprakash is director at Avishkar Center of Innovation and Incubation at GD Goenka University, Gurugram. Also, he is faculty in the Department of Computer Science, School of Engineering and Sciences, GD Goenka University, Gurugram, Haryana. He has over 2 decades of experience in software research and development industry, steering complex engineering endeavors spanning telecom, applications, and AI/ML domains. He has been associated with Tier 1 software companies like NICSI, Wipro Technologies, Ericent, Eka Cape Gemini, and Juniper Networks. His area of interest are in machine learning, with a particular emphasis on deep learning-based algorithms for time series forecasting and transformer-based architectures, having publications in SCI and Scopus-listed computer science journals. We welcome you today to this session, sir, and I would now request you to kindly enlighten the participants. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ritika. Respected Professor Huda, the dignitaries from BVI CAM and Delhi IEEE Delhi chapter, my fellow academicians and student friends. So good evening. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to talk about vibe coding. So without delaying any further, I am sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Sure, sir. Yes, sir. We can see
I
the
hope
slides.
you can see my screen.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So today's topic is vibe coding from algorithm to aesthetics. There are a series of things that we will go through: the history, how vibe coding works, what are the best LLMs, what are the potential improvements, with some final thoughts and demo. I will try to show you something working if time permits, but let's start quickly. So vibe coding, what is it is? So up till now, if we have a computer science graduate sitting here, we studied in our college life that the best language is English-like language. So when you develop a programming language and the language is more towards English, it is the best, right? So that's why from machine language to Pascal, COBOL, C, and Python, everything evolved that we want to be near to what the human speak and the computer should understand, right? And frankly speaking, that thought or that desire has came to reality with the vibe coding. And in vibe coding, you don't need to remember any syntax, you don't need to remember any language constructs. Use your natural language. You just guide the AI models and they will create the code for you. So that's why the term is vibe. You are sharing your vibes, your emotions, your thoughts, and the model is doing some AI model is doing for you the whole coding. And this term is very new. Andreas Karpathy in March 2025 coined this word. And the core principle is forget the syntax, feel the flow, right? So that's what it's about the vibe coding. If we see the history of this, in 2017, Microsoft and Cambridge started Deep Coder, which is a view to enhance the coding experience and ease out the job of the programmer. 2021, OpenAI, Codex, GitHub, Copilot, all these tools have started coming in, which are meant to make the programmer's life easy. In 2023, the Andreas Karpathy, who is a co-founder of OpenAI, and he also worked for Tesla, and currently he is leading his own AI company. And he declared that now the programming language will become English. And in Feb 2025, finally, he coins the word vibe coding, which is describing a carefree, intuitive coding style driven by LLMs. And from February 2025 to September 2025, the adoption is so prevalent that Gartner is predicting 40% of the code is getting vibe coded by 2028. And almost the Google CEO, Sundar Pichai, is saying that 30% of their entry-level code is now getting written by LLMs. And of course, we are seeing that even our colleges, in startups, in enterprises, students, they are using vibe coding nowadays. So it is generating a lots of interest and it is moving very fast. So how it works? The step one is to define a prompt. We all know, if you want to instruct a LLM, you have to write a good prompt. And how it is written? It is written in plain English language. You need not to understand or write it technically. You need a good grasp on your language. Then generate the code using the AI by using this prompt. Test it, run the code, observe the behavior, see the error, give the feedback to the LLM agent, and it will refine and it will solve the issues. Repeat this until you feel solution is right. And this is how in these 5 steps you get your code working or your app or your application working and available. So for example, you can just put a prompt, build a Python app that reads a CSV of expenses and visualizes monthly spending as a bar chart. This is what you have to put in your IDE, and the AI will generate the code. And you need not to remember any syntax, you need not to install any software, you need not to create any environment. You just need to give this prompt to the AI agent and your website will be up and running with your budgeting tool. So this is how it works. So it is a prompt first design. You have to develop a prompt, describe the goal. You need not to give the syntax. It is agentic orchestration. AI agent autonomously build, test, and deploy the code. Remember, I'm talking about build, test, and deploy. So all the phases of your software engineering, from building, testing, and deployment, everything is getting done by AI agents. You need not to be involved there. That means you does not need to understand DevOps chain. You does not need to commit your code into the GitHub. You does not need to test your code, write your test plans, or execute the test cases. Everything will be done by AI agents. It is integrated with your IDE. The tools like Bindsurf, Cursor have directly enabled the AI agents in your editors. So you just give the prompt to the AI editor and AI agent, and it will be executed. It is a multimodal input. You can give image, voice, or diagram into the code. For example, if there is an error, what you can do, you just take the screenshot of your error message or whatever is coming on your screen, and just paste that screenshot to the AI agent, and it will automatically read the error, understand the error, and it will fix it. It is so easy. Actually, when I was doing for the first time, I was totally astonished that this is possible. For explaining a error to developer as a tester, it takes too much of time. And here the AI agent, just seeing the behavior on the screen, is debugging itself and fixing the issue. Not only that, one of the key things that software development always want, that it should be very, very secure. There should not be any vulnerability. So there are already vulnerability checks enabled in AI agents. There are test plan already available, which are fully automated. You just need to use them, and your security will also be implemented like that. So if you can see the diagram here, the agent is communicating with the LLM, and the LLM is the brain, and agent is the worker who is working on behalf of LLM. Agent is taking your inputs, passing it to the LLM, and LLM is actually doing and executing all those inputs. So this is how the development pathway looks like in a vibe coding. So what is the benefits? Of course, the speed. You can do rapid prototyping. You need not to go and build everything from scratch. So suppose when you are going to develop an app, the first step is to understand the complete use cases, list down the requirement, then select your protocol stack, and then you create your development environment. And after creating the development environment, you will start creating one file, another file of the programs one by one. It takes weeks to reach to that level when you start coding. But with the vibe coding, it happens in minutes and hours. So that is the speed of prototyping and the apps building. So I'm really surprised if I see that now the hackathon will happen in hours rather than happening over the weekends, because previously we used to give 48 hours long hackathon, but I don't think now with the help of vibe coding, it will take more than 2-3 hours to develop a code. Accessibility. Now when we are saying that forget the syntax. What we are doing? We are enabling everyone to use plain English to develop a functional software in computers without knowing C, C++, Java, or Python, Node.js, or any other thing. They just need plain English, and they must have a tool which is a AI-based agent, and they can just pass the prompt in English, and the functional software will be ready. So we are making the technology accessible to each and everyone. Now, what will happen if the technology is available to each and everyone? The engineers can focus more on logic and innovation. So the time it takes to develop a new product, if it was in months, now it will come in weeks, because now the engineers are freed up from doing the manual coding, testing, and all those things. They can focus more on the UX design, how my software should look like. They should focus more on the logic, what are the new functionality that I can add, which will help user, or maybe a new innovative product. Of course, cost efficiency. You need not to have so many developer, programmer, testers, DevOps engineers to do all those things. And it is very important for startups, because the startups does not have that flexibility to do all those things and hire so many people. Pedagogical value. I do remember and everybody would have relate to it in your batches. when you are studying together, out of 60 or 100 people, students, few are very good in programming because they are very good in logic, they are very good in remembering syntax, they are very good at construct. But there are few people who are not good in that, but they are very good logically, they are very good in UX and innovation. Now, it what it has done, the vibe coding, it has brought everybody at the same level, right? So whether a person who is a computer science graduate or whether a person who is a microbiology student, both can equally use the benefits of LLM and AI to generate software products. Now coming to some popular vibe coding tools. So these are the tools which are readily available. Binsurf, it is a very famous tool. It not only generates new code, but it also you can give your old code and it can reverse engineering and understand the complete code for you. So this is one of the peculiar property of Binsurf. Another was the Lovable. Lovable is end-to-end app generation tool, and it is web-based. So it does not need to install something on your computer. So normally, a lot of people feel it very difficult that should I install something or do I have a admin privilege and all those things. So Lovable comes to a rescue. You just log into the website of Lovable and you can start generating your app definitely from there. Replit, Cursor, Cloud Code, Base 44 is specifically meant for security. So if you want to ensure that your software is very secure, use Base 44, Bolt, Tempo-Lab, Memex. There are a hell lot of tools, and see within 6 or 7 months, these tools are getting evolved and these are coming to your hand and you can use. Most of these tools are paid, but there is always a free and evaluation version available. So for researcher, academicians, and a student, I think free is still a good trial. You need not to buy the subscription until unless you are really going to develop something more than a prototype, I will say. So till prototyping, you can definitely use these tools, and mostly you can get it free of the cost. This is another view that how the tools are in the terms of ease of use and debugging support and security features. So as you can see, Base 44 is very high on the security features, collaboration, deployment, and which one is best for a student and devs and researcher. It's just a view. Personally, I feel Binsurf is good if you have a code base already available. And second, its restrictions are less on free version. Lovable, on the other hand, just only provide 5 prompts per day in a free version. So that means if more than 5 instructions you are going to the giving to the agent, it will move to the it will ask for payment. So that is a problem with Lovable. Cursor is also a good tool, good to have tool. So as per your choice, you can take any of the tool and can use it, or you can use. What we suggest here that as a beginner, you should want focus on one tool and learn that tool and develop different app using that tool. Because if you master one tool, you will be in better place to understand the vibe coding mechanism. So just figure out one tool which is of your choice and practice it for developing different kind of apps so that it will polish your skills. Coming to LLMs and agent. So these are the two things which are very important for vibe coding, the AI agent and the large language models. Agents are the helpers which takes action, which makes things happen. So it write code, work with files, interact with other tools. When I say other tool, it will interact with the database management system like Supabase or Firebase or Postgres. It may have to interact with the code versioning system like GitHub. So everything is getting done by agents, and LLM is the brain behind the scenes. So When you give a command to agent, it will pass on to the LLM as a prompt, and LLM will generate the response, and that will power the agents. So this is how it works. So every IDE you will see an agent, and you have a choice to select a LLM, that which LLM you want to use, and then the agent will get tied up with that agent LLM and will give you the responses. So these are the few best LLMs for vibe coding. GPT-5. The best part of GPT-5 is that it is free as of now by OpenAI. So they are not charging it for GPT-5. So for example, in Windsurf, GPT-5 is free of cost. So Windsurf actually gives you 25 prompts per month. But when you are using GPT-5, actually it does not cost you anything. So your prompt count will remain to 25. Cloud A 3.7 Sonnet, that is another. Gemini 2.45 Pro. Many of the developers which are using vibe coding, they believe in Gemini. Although for the cost reason, I always use GPT-5 mostly, and I didn't face any such big issue. But many a time people say that Gemini 2.5 Pro is better in reasoning, better in understanding and solving problems. So maybe if you are dealing with something really very complex algorithmic apps, use Gemini, but GPT-5 can also help you. Llama, DeepSeek, all of these are the different LLMs that you can select in your IDE or in your agent, AI agent, that which LLM you are going to use for your vibe coding. Now, what is the academic use case? So for educators, we have to start teaching a student about the prompt engineering, that how they can use the AI effectively. Syntax-free coding. Now the whole paradigm will shift. Till now, the emphasis is to understand C, understand Java, understand the syntax. Now you have to ask a student, not memorize syntax, just understand what is the use case, what is the requirement, what you want to do, right? So the things are changing. Now the coding exercise will also change. That traditionally we used to say that why not you implement linked list or tree or something like that. Now the every code is available, and now you have to say, why not you develop a website which will create a Trello-like web page, or something which will do a online ticket booking for me. So those will be the coding exercises nowadays, rather than asking for a small syntax oriented code. Of course, we need to talk about the good and bad of AI models, their ethics behind it, and who will be accountable about the AI generated code. So we all need to teach to the student. Students, the benefits are different stuff, lots of things. Hackathon, you can build MVP in hours. Assignment, you can have a problem, describe the problem, and you can have the answer and solution very much ready. You can create a real world apps with minimal coding. So all these use cases are there for academic student and research scholar. I think that there it is a best benefit. I have seen many scholars facing problem with their coding skills, mostly with the people coming from apart from computer science. So suppose somebody is coming from environmental science, or somebody is coming from biological science or health sciences or agriculture. They are not so well versed in computer programming, and when they want to implement machine learning and all those things with vibe coding, it is very easy for them to implement their solution and visualize their research. So that is very helpful for them. So this is what are few of the academic use cases. Now there will be definitely an impact on programming education, right? So from syntax mastery, we have to go to the conceptual fluency. we need to understand the concept behind this coding exercise. We need to understand the use case. We need to understand why we are coding this. Rather than remembering the syntax, the things will change. Debugging to problem structuring. Previously, when there is a bug, we used to see into the code very minutely, syntax by syntax, word by word. Rather than that, we have to think logically why this problem is coming, what can be the potential regions, why it is impacting our use case. So those problem structuring became important. And rather than code writing, it is about the code of orchestration. Outcomes, higher engagement. So with the time that you save from remembering the syntax and writing the code, you can put that time on the creativity and creating logic, creating use case, creating requirements. The cognitive load is lower. You need not to remember and memorize things. And of course, the skill acquisition is very fast. So, for example, we have, even I am a computer science student and I learned C, C++, Java, but maybe there are few areas. For example, Django. I don't know. I don't know about the Django platform. I never used it. Node.js, maybe I am completely unaware. Golang, I have not used it, right? So even a computer graduate with a immense experience in software development and programming is not finding himself fit for doing something. So somebody if comes to me and asks me to create a website, I may say, boss, I am not a guy who can create a website for you because I have not used website framework. What I have used is core software development in Java. And when you are talking to somebody layman, he will never understand that this computer graduate, he is saying that I don't know this. So this was the real problem. But with the faster skill acquisition, even I don't have a expertise in Node.js and Django or something like that, I can still do the coding using vibe coding. So this is the benefit of vibe coding. Now what will happen? The job roles will change. Now people will not test you for your coding skill. They will test you how much you know about AI orchestra, how much you know about the agents, how much you know about the LLM, and how much you know about the prompt engineering. Do you know how many kinds of prompt engineering, prompting techniques are there? How you can use those prompts to generate a good code. So emphasis will be on domain knowledge, design thinking, ethical reasoning, not on the your coding skills. So companies will look for who can guide AI, not who will write the code. So this will be the change that will happen, and it is already happening. That's why you are seeing that one of the study recently I was studying in Silicon Valley, the average age of IT engineer has increased. So previously it used to be 32 years, now it is 39 years. What does it mean? It means less younger people are in the company as compared to few years back. Less younger people means the entry level jobs are now shrinking because their jobs are getting taken by AI, by the AI coding agents. So we need to prepare ourselves for that. What we need to do, we need to know AI/ML, we need to know LLM, we need to learn prompt engineering, build the domain expertise because consultant is going to exist in this world. If you have a very good financial acumen, nobody can replace you. If you are very good in your own domain, whether it is tourism, whether it is sales, whether it is healthcare, people will still come for your opinion. AI will not replace you. But a simple coder, it is easy. Understand the AI rules, ethics, bias, explainability. These are the problems with AI, and you should know that. Practice with multi-agent workflows, tool chaining, use. As I said, there are different tools. You need to understand at least one or two tools very well so that you can showcase your skills there. The improvements, of course, every system there must be some shortcoming and improvement. Explainability, it is a problem with LLM. Many a time we feel how the answer are getting generated or the responses are getting generated. We does not understand from where it is coming. What is the explanation behind it? So, if you ask a human that today it will rain or not, you will say yes or no, seeing the condition, and you can explain it. It will not rain, sir, because it is very sunny today and it is windy also. So we feel that it will not rain. So you have explained your answer. But many a time LLM fails to do that. They are not able to explain that why this response has came. So that is one of the issue. Debugging UX. This is one where the visuals comes into the picture, where the graphics comes into the picture. Still, LLM needs to improve there. The AI needs to improve there. Something which is very readily visible by human eye and noticeable by human eye may not be readable and noticeable by human eye. I can tell you one example. I was trying to fit a particular size of the logo on a website, and the AI agents are taking much of time to do that. They are not able to understand. They are giving me always the screen resolution and all those things, so much parameter, and it was very easy for me to just tweak the code and put that logo in the right shape and right place. So there it can be some problem. And consistency, long-term maintainability is still a challenge. And of course, uh, uh, the accuracy of the software. So suppose you are developing a software for mission critical, like flight simulation, or the software which is controlling the flights. Now this should be 99.99% accurate all the time. The the error potential should be 0.001%. So that level of accuracy we still need to go via AI. And of course, maintainability. When you have generated a code, when you have written a code, you know what you have written, where it is written. When it is generated, it is very difficult to understand and go and debug it when there is a problem. So these things we need to sort out. Security risk, IP ambiguity, and over reliance. These are the shortcomings. Security risk still persist because uh, something you have written by yourself, you know the code, but something which is not written by AI orchestra, anybody else can also try that, right? They can have a similar code. I am saying similar. It will not be exactly similar, but similar kind of code. So that they can generate. There is a good flexibility with LLM that if you ask the same question, the answers will be different all the time. It depends how you set the settings in LLM. One setting is called temperature. So when you set the temperature to different levels, the LLM will output differently. So those are kind of risk, security risk can be there. IP ambiguity, the code has came from LLM. It has the data training of the complete internet. You need to be very clear that whether it is not a code which is owned by somebody else. And of course, one problem, over reliance. So even with the ChatGPT, there is a study that happened in Harvard. They are saying that the people who are using ChatGPT, their cognitive skills, their brain power is decreasing day by day, and it is not a one-day impact. It is actually persisting over the time. Or the people who have not used ChatGPT, their brain is more functional. So that will happen with developers also. If you keep on using vibe coding, you may uh, uh, fail in logics. But the overlook is really very promising. The enterprise will transform. The vibe coding will change the SDLC. Inclusive innovation, diverse team can coordinate, can co-create without they will break the technical elitism of the computer engineers and programmer. Genetic systems, uh, of course all of you have seen such kind of pictures that now the team will look like product owner, senior uh, developer, senior tester, and senior deployment engineer, and below that all are the AI agents. So these kind of things may happen. Education revolution. So I already started my class to say that don't many times we say that don't use ChatGPT. Rather than I say use ChatGPT, use vibe coding, but understand how it is coming in, how it is generating response, and whether these responses are correct or not. So that is very important that these things will change, and we are trying to cope up with the change. As Professor Huda already said, change is the only one constant, and if we don't relearn, forget and learn, we are not going to survive. So your job or your potential job will not be taken by machines. It will be taken by someone who knows better AI than you, better machine learning than you. So you have to be ready for that challenge. You have to develop yourself who uses AI tools very efficiently. So it is not a new tool, it is a mind shift. Uh, it empowers educator, it empowers researchers, and it is the golden opportunity to move from coding to creativity. These are the final thoughts. After that, I will be moving to a live demo. So what we are going to do, we will build a personal budgeting app with given time constraint. I think I have 8 minutes, so I will try to show you something that how I can build a personal budgeting app which is a web-based app and can show me my expenses and income. So the first thing that starts is with the prompt. So I will write a software specification using a prompt. So suppose this is the prompt that I have created. Now I will give it to any AI agent. So suppose I am using Copilot and I am giving this prompt to the Copilot. So now Copilot is giving me the functional steps. So because I have asked that ask follow-up question, it is asking me the follow-up questions that you give me the some questions that it is asking. So what about the user authentication? So one, I don't know, I don't want to know user authentication. Second, it is asking about data storage. So I am saying use Shootabase. Then it is asking about budget tracking logic. Should user be able to set budgets per category? I say yes. Then it is asking about charting library preference. I will say chart.js. And then it is asking about mobile responsiveness. Use CSS framework. So I have given responses. So it is creating a SRS for me. Sometimes this happens. So it has created a SRS for me. I'm copying this SRS, and this is the Windsurf IDE. I'm creating a file here and putting this SRS here. Removing some extra lines. And saving this. Now I am going back and creating a to-do list for software to work. So I have again created a prompt, and I will use this prompt to generate a to-do list. So see, it is generating the to-do list. I'm copying this as well and giving it to the I've given it here in Supabase. Sorry, the BinSharp ID. It is a BinSharp ID. As you can see, there is no files here, only SRSMD and to do MD and the prompts, the text files. Now you will see how I'm generating the complete code here. So this is the agent, AI agent, and you can select your model from here. So I have selected GPT-5 low reasoning. Okay, so now it is charged. Up till now it was free, so now it is 0.5x. So that means one prompt will charge about half of the prompt. So what I will do, I will give input to agent. This is the way you input the files, and I will now write simple English text. So I have given instruction, please create a personal budget app as per the SRS and to-do list. First execute the phase 1. Now everything will be done by the AI agent, and I will just wait and watch. See, the files are getting created now. On the left side panel, you can see index.html is getting created. Now style.css is getting created. So all the files are getting created one by one. See, this is the index.html that it has created. In JS file, app.js is created. All are created automatically. Now it has given me the summary, what it has done uh, till now, phase 1. It has set up the basic HTML, CSS, and it is also giving me how I can run it locally. So if I can open this in a browser, rather than So I'm asking it to set a local web server where I can see this web app. So see, this is the site that it has created. If you can see here, it has said that uh, uh, it has opened a website at the port number 5500. And here I have written the same thing, localhost 5500. And within 10 minutes, it has created the site for me where you can see the transactions, and my budget app is already running. So even you can add a transaction. Suppose I want to add a income, $2,000 as part of my salary. Suppose add it. See, the total income has increased. Now expenses, suppose 1,000 for groceries. See, my expense is increasing. So your web app is fully functional and working. So this is the beauty of the vibe coding. I need not to write all this code. I need not to do anything. Everything is done. Of course, you have seen in the to-do list, there are many things that I want to do. Supabase integration, which is a database integration, then adding more functionality and advanced functionality. I can do it all one by one. I'm just asking this agentic AI to now execute phase 2, now execute phase 3, and everything will be done in minutes. So this is the beauty that I want to show you in this limited time. I request you, please start working on vibe coding if you are really interested in this area. And I think I will end with one of the quote that I have read today. Alexander Wang, if you guys are aware about Alexander Wang, he is the 24 years billionaire. He works for Meta. And he said today, he is now 28 years, by the way, but he became billionaire at the age of 24 years. And he said, he has quoted today that the new Bill Gates is in making, and those Bill Gates are 13 years old. And if they start working on the vibe coding, the future Bill Gates will come from here. So if he is urging 13-year-old or middle school student to start using vibe coding, why not us? We are grown up and we should use vibe coding and to liberate ourselves from the syntax and move from algorithms to aesthetics. That is my last word. Thank you. Thanks for giving me the time. Over to
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sure this insightful session has enlightened the participant about the real scenario, and I'm sure it has motivated many participants to take up vibe coding if they haven't taken it up as yet. There are certain questions by the participants which I would now like to take up with your permission, sir.
Sure.
Sir, first question, could you please elaborate in detail upon code orchestration?
So orchestration is something which happens automatically in layman terms, right? So when I say code orchestration, that means the code will be generated automatically without human intervention. So that is the simple meaning.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Sir, next question we have. Can vibe coding also help in building full-fledged scalable applications for enterprise level application? Or it is just good for beginners who want to build up on a number of technologies?
Of course, it is very beneficial for the beginners or small apps. It is very quickly done. But with paid version and with full-fledged agents, you can go to the enterprise level. That's why these software companies are growing up like anything. Lovable, Cursor, Windsurf, Copilot, all these are flourishing because the enterprise is already using that. If you read Infosys or TCS reports, they are also saying that they are adopting and they are collaborating with Meta and different companies to have this IT integrated with their workforce. So the use case is very promising. Even the enterprise level codes can be generated.
Absolutely. So one more question I can see, is Vibe scalable and secure?
As I said, there are different tools and different methodologies that you have to implement for scalability and security, right? So, for example, one of the 44 that's the name of the tool I was saying. It is meant for secure applications. So you have to use those techniques. You need to know what. The most importantly, you have to write in a way that agents understand. So, for example, the simple things. I want to refactor the code. I want to make the code more readable. I can give this instruction. If you have not given this instruction, agent will not do. So similarly, if you want to implement something secure, you have to give that instruction. The problem is that most of the time we don't know what to write in prompt, and we miss that thing, and then it became unsecure. So you have to write, you have to instruct the agent specifically that this need to be implemented. For example, you have just seen it has not launched the web server. See, if you are developing a web app, the web server launch is the first thing that a developer will do, but agent has not done. I have to instruct him in next step that generate a web server. So this is the thing that you have to be particular.
Absolutely. So one more question I see on the prompt. How images can be used to infer the information, particularly if we have medical data or some such kind of image?
So as an example, I can show you. Okay, I have stopped the sharing. So if my screen is visible, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So suppose this is the web page that I have opened. Where is my web page? This is the web page. Suppose I want to change budget buddy to something else, okay? Or I want to put a dollar picture here. So I will do a print screen. I have done a print screen of this whole page. And I go here. I put the screen here. If you can see, the snapshot has came. Put a big a dollar picture in top bar. Now it will itself understand what I am trying to say. It will read the picture. See, he is saying a dollar picture in the navigation bar in index page. Now it will do by itself. So this is the manner you can give multimodal input to your AI agents. And if you see there is a at the rate, you can add all these things here. I have only added files that I have shown you, but you can add all these things.
Absolutely. Thank you for the wonderful session, sir. With this, we have come to an end to this wonderful session where I would say you have, with very simple and with wonderful examples, you have introduced vibe coding to all the participants. I would now request Professor Emin Huda, sir, to kindly present a certificate and an e-memento for this wonderful session today to sir as a token of remembrance. Huda, sir.
So thank you so much, Dr. Satyaprakash. Such a fantastic and lovely lecture. And that too at the time when still we consider that this vibe coding is in infancy. In multiple of its shape, we are using it, we are implementing it, we are practicing in our coding process, but yet it is in infancy. At least the term is in infancy. When maybe 5 years down the line, this will become a prevalent culture, then people will remember that we had organize this learning session for the purpose of knowledge upgradation is learn, unlearn, and relearn this vibe coding at the time the people didn't even know it. So thank you so much. In a very simplified form, you have explained the subject and made us easy to understand what exactly is the vibe coding. This certificate and after the certificate memento is not for the purpose of certification, is for the purpose of remembrance. That when such discussion will happen, it will be our webinar, today's webinar will be remembered. Thank you so much. You might have noticed that we are also changing with the pace of the time, right from uh, the welcome with the bouquet to the certificate, and then after the memento. Show us memento as well.
Yes, sir.
Everything has been electronic into the nature. And while doing it, we have taken care of the recommendations of the vibe coding that look and feel, aesthetic, interface, and overall emotional connect we have tried to maintain. Thank you so much.
Definitely,
Over to you,
sir.
Dr. Ritika.
I'm really pleased to get this opportunity to talk at this forum. And, sir, and the whole VVI Camp family, the thing that you are doing, it is really great. It is very, it takes a lots of effort. I can understand the background effort that goes in for organizing this session every week. But I'm really grateful to all of you that you are doing such a wonderful job. And hopefully, we will participate again and again in this, and we'll keep on learning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Over to you, Dr. Ritika.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. And surely we will hope to have more learning from you in near future. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful session today.
And Dr. Ritika,
Namaskar,
this
sir.
room is open for Nushka. This room
Thank
is
you, sir.
open for next 20 minutes. Participants, within 20 minutes, please get your all problem resolved related to certificates, after which this room will be closed and no query can be entertained. So hurry up, fill up your form. If you do not fill up your form, our team member cannot issue a certificate because the certificate issuing system has been automated with Google API. So please fill it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, the feedback form link has already been shared with all of you in the chat window. Many of you have already clicked on the same. I hope you have received your certificate. The participants who have received their certificate are most welcome to leave the meeting room with a promise to join us back with our next webinar on 27 September. Meanwhile, I repeat, dear participants, you need to click on the feedback form, fill in your details, and submit your feedback form to generate your certificate of participation. Participants who have already received their certificate of participation are most welcome to leave this meeting room with a promise to join us back on 27 September. Dia, if you have filled the form, I request you kindly refresh your inbox and spam folder. Otherwise, share your email ID with all the panelists in the chat window. Fatima, on your request, we are resharing the certificate feedback link. Please fill the same to generate your certificate. I repeat, dear participants, we'll be closing this meeting room at 7:25. So before that, I request all the participants in the room, the leftover participants, kindly submit the feedback form and generate your certificate of participation. Once the meeting room closes, you will not be able to generate your certificate of participation. Over 120 certificates have already been successfully generated. I repeat, dear participants, we shall be closing this meeting room at 7:25. After that, we will not, once the meeting room closes, you will not be able to generate your certificate of participation. Dia, you have not submitted the feedback form. We have not received your feedback form. Until and unless you submit the feedback form, you will not be able to generate your certificate. Name of the organization is the name of the organization with which you are associated. Iftikhar, to register on the webinar for 27th, go to bvicam.in. Under the activities tab, you have the list of webinars. In that, you can register for our 27th webinar, our 4th October upcoming webinar. All our webinars are posted over there. So every time you can go there and you can register. Dia, we have not received your feedback. All participants who have already received their certificate, thank you for joining us. You all are most welcome to leave the meeting room with a promise to join us back on 27th of September with our next webinar. So thank you, dear participants. Any participant who has as yet not submitted the feedback form, I repeat, you need to click on the feedback form, fill in your details carefully, and submit the same to generate your certificate of participation. Unless and until you submit the feedback form, your certificate of participation will not be generated. So please submit the feedback form. Last 41 participants left with us. I hope they all have submitted the feedback form. We have Adarsh Singh, sir has already got his certificate, just forgotten to leave the meeting room. Ankit Kumar Jha, Anshika, Ayush, Azhar, Dia, Dr. Louis, Dr. Sanjay. Then we have Dr. Prajakta, Dr. Shipra, Sandeep, Harkirat, Harsh, Iftikhar, Jyoti, Muhammad Ajmal, Muhammad Jahid, Nishay, Unnati, Saroj, Nanda, Shobha, Shrumi, Silki, Unnati, Vansh, Yashraj, Yugansh. I repeat, dear participants, last 28 participants left with us. We shall be closing this meeting room in another 6 minutes from now. Thank you, Dia. You are most welcome to leave the meeting room now with a promise to join us back on 27 September. 27 September, next Saturday, is our next webinar. I hope all the participants join us back for the same. All the participants who have received their certificates are most welcome to leave the meeting room now with a promise to join us back on 27 September. Last 21 participants left. I hope they all have received their certificate, only forgotten to leave the meeting room. We have Ankit, Anshika, Ayush, Azhar, Dr. Louis, Dr. Prajakta, Sandeep, Iftikhar, Jyoti, Muhammad Jahid, Suman, Pranjul, Saroj, Shobha, Shrumi, Silki, Unnati, Vansh, and Yugansh. Last 18 participants, I hope you all have received your certificate. In case you have received your certificate, you are most welcome to leave the meeting room with a promise to join us back on 27 September with our next webinar. Thank you, Jahid. You're most welcome to leave the meeting room with a promise to join us back on 27 September. Close to 200 certificates have already been successfully generated, dear participants. Thank you, Ayush. Most welcome. You can now leave the meeting room with the